Okay, so welcome again, everyone. I'm so grateful that we share this time together and that we get this opportunity. And I think, especially as we're starting a new year, what better time to bring in the teachings of beginner's mind. And there's a saying that says, in the mind of an expert, possibilities are very limited. In the mind of the beginner, possibilities are limitless. So there's something that happens when we approach an activity, when we approach ourselves, when we approach life with a sense of freshness and newness that comes with that quality of beginner's mind, like we're experiencing something for the first time. And I know that many of you have been doing yoga practice for quite a while. So I just invite you to consider that teaching as we move through the practices today. And I'm intentionally not going to be using music because I'd like to invite you to perhaps go a little more deeply into the music of your own inner landscape as we're going through the sequence. So I want to start a little bit with centering and grounding, and then I'm going to invite those of you that want to come to standing right away. We're going to do what I call a little chi yoga together. We'll go through a flowing sequence. We'll come back into the chair, do a little core, lower body work, and then we'll go into about 8 to 10 minutes of meditation at the end. So take a moment. It's almost like you're going on a journey here the next 50 minutes or so. It's an internal journey. So just as this quality of settling and stilling and arriving home, supporting that with perhaps closing the eyes or softening the gaze. It's like we're pulling the shades down a bit so that we can move in to perhaps a greater sense of intimacy with ourselves in this moment. So this idea of intimacy, as we pull down the shades of the eyelids and we begin to simply notice, what is the quality of energy in the body? Can you notice subtle differences, maybe someplace in the body where the energy is a little faster? Maybe someplace where there's a greater quality of stillness. What's happening with the breath? Is the breath even, measured, or is it a little jumpy or choppy? So it's almost like we're arriving home here for the first time, like you're entering the dwelling of the body as you would a structure. You're coming inside and you're just noticing, right? Letting go of judging, just noticing, being here, arriving home. Can you notice where there's a quality of feeling your relationship to earth more strongly, maybe a sense of rootedness or groundedness? Can you feel where there's a sense of settling that's naturally beginning to happen? And then what's capturing your attention as you just kind of sweep through the body? Maybe noticing any places that are particularly calling for your attention, maybe places that are feeling tender or places that might feel tight, maybe places that feel expansive and open. And then as we move a little deeper, I invite you to consider placing a hand perhaps on the chest, a hand on the belly. Just this, this touch of I'm here, I'm with you, I'm present, I'm interested, whatever the hands convey, the hands as the messenger of the heart. What are the hands conveying in the touch? The felt sense of that. And then I invite you just to Just rock back on your sit bones. You're just going to tuck the tailbone. We're inviting the core to come a little more online. As you press the feet in and the sit bones, see if you can feel a little lengthening through the spine. We're just going to release the arms down now. Let the shoulders release down, and just going to drop the chin slightly. For a few more breaths here, like you're sitting with a sense of alert dignity. You're taking up full residency in the body in this moment, allowing everything to be just as it is. And as you would listen to a dear friend, I just invite you to turn a listening ear inward, and this inquiry or intention, if you will, what could benefit from my practice today? What needs my care and attention? And then letting the breath be a little fuller. If you can imagine each in-breath inviting the chest to open a little bit more with a soft gaze. We'll just do a few movements here before I invite those who want to come to standing. So let's just start by just take a bow of the chin to the chest. Shoulders are relaxed and down, so you're just getting that nice juicy stretch in the back of the neck. And then gently bringing the head back up. And we'll do that little dial of the clock. So just imagining the nose like an analog clock, like it's going up to 12. And then slowly, you're just going to track the face of the clock to 1, to 2. Very slowly feeling into the sensations that may be happening in the neck. Almost like you can imagine you're breathing into those sensations. Almost like you're inviting the neck and the head to just uncoil a little bit of gunk or junk or tension of the day. When you arrive back at 12, maybe doing this slowly in the opposite direction. And arriving back, let's release the hands down alongside the body, palms facing in. Again, we're going to have that little core engagement. You know it well. Bottom of the rib cage draws in, tailbone's tucked, a little bit of the rectus abdominis coming online. This time we're going to inhale, we're drawing the shoulder blades up towards the ears, like we're scrunching. And exhale with a sigh, let it go. Do this 2 more times. Inhale, scrunching, holding, feel that tension. Exhale, let it go. And 1 more time. And let it go. Beautiful. Take a moment, notice what you're aware of now. And then I invite those of you that want to come to standing to make that transition very slowly as we move into a bit of a kind of a flowing chi yoga practice. So here you want to have your legs about hips width apart, maybe a little wider. You don't want to lock the knees if you're standing. You want a slight bend in them. Again, you want to have the tailbone tucked, cores engaged. We're going to release the arms down alongside the body. Again, drop the chin slightly. And just start by feeling the feet, feeling this embedded quality of the feet in relationship to ground. This is us most days, the feet or the buttocks if you're sitting, or the feet and the buttocks. Just feel that relationship of grounding. See if you can imagine like this earth element is an ally, which truly it is. We're going to go on ahead and we're going to just move up the body, a little body sweep. So from the bottoms of the feet, just imagine you're receiving energy from ground, just exploring that energy as it moves, and your attention moves into the tops of the feet, moving up through the ankles, like you're drawing that energy through the lower legs and knees. Feel the energy coming up into the thighs, the buttock, the torso, enveloped energy slowly rising up through the canister of the torso, through the hands, the arms, coming into the shoulders, enveloping yourself, coming all the way up. And just noticing the face, just resting on the face, noticing any sensations in the hinge of the jaw, the eyes, the cheeks, the brow, sliding to the sides of the head, noticing the ears, the back of the head, the base of the back of the head, the top of the head, and just noticing the body now as a whole, from the soles of the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. We're going to begin a sequence of radiant body breathing. On an in-breath, letting the arms come up shoulder height. When they arrive here, the palms turn into that receiving gesture, continuing with that in-breath. And then this quality on the out-breath of the hands washing down the front line of the body. What is the quality of the energy with this movement? Inhaling, arms rising. Exhaling, hands washing down the midline. Continuing, you can have, if it's right action, you can have the eyes closed or softened or open. It's almost like the movement is tethered to the breath. And after this one, let's do this 2 more times. And like the hands are moving through water, let them release back alongside the body. And now the noticing part. Noticing any echoes of energy or sensation. Again, this beginner's mind, as if you've never been right here in this place before, which of course you haven't. Bringing the hands now to the low belly. This time we're doing the reverse movement. We're inhaling the hands up the midline, and then on the out breath, this release. Again, feeling into the soma, the sensate experience of this movement. As if the movement is activated by the in-breath and the out-breath. And we'll do this 2 more times. And arriving back in stillness, resting and pausing in the noticing. Maybe reconnecting with that quality of intention for your practice in this moment. We're going to do a little energizing movement of the hips next. So bringing the hands to the hips. If you're standing, just rotating the hips in one direction. You can gyrate a bit in the chair or rotate the torso if you're seated. Can you imagine the breath channeling down into the basement of the belly with the movement? Let your shoulders rest at the top of the canister. And continuing to keep the abs engaged. And then eventually you're going to change direction here. And again, coming back, releasing the hands, feeling the afterglow of sensations from this movement. So we're going to do a little bit of an energizing practice. We've done this before. been a while, but what we're going to do is we're just going to gently go through three phases of ratcheting up the energy, but we're going to always keep ourselves safe. So we're just going to start with just beginning to wring the arms, the hands, just kind of wringing the arms lightly and gently, kind of phase one. And then phase two, we're going to get a little bit more squiggly, wiggly in the body. We're in phase two. And then you're going to go into that whatever, frustration, stress, gunk of the day. You want to let go with a little bit more movement. Come to stillness. We're going to inhale. We're going to bring the arms up and just exhale, hinge forward with a and come back. Pause, noticing. Just close your eyes if that's available. Feel the aliveness in the body. We'll do that again. So we're just going to little gentle ringing action happening here. And bringing it up, phase two, a little bit more. And letting it out, just skillfully, just wringing it out of the body. And again, an in breath and exhale through the mouth with a let it go. And pausing again in stillness. Notice how you feel. So we're going to do a little arm swinging forward fold. We're going to move a little bit more on that one, but just a reminder, again, if you have glaucoma, unmedicated high blood pressure, infections of the head and throat, or if you feel lightheaded, of course, backing off, right? We don't want to release the head below the heart with any of those contraindications. So either if you're seated or standing, again, we want to always have that core integrity. And then we're just going to, on an in-breath, we're bringing the arms up. And then when they get to about this high, we're just going to exhale and we're going to hinge forward. If you're standing, you're going to bend your legs to keep the back nice and extended. Come back up on the breath. So it's going to look like this. Inhale through the nose, exhale. One more time. And let that go. Come back, resting in the effects. Not too much, not too little, but just right. Feeling the energy that's activated. We'll do that one more time, mindfully and slowly. We're going to inhale when you're ready. Exhale through the mouth. Two more times. And pausing here. Noticing how you feel. Resting in the effects. And from here, again, we're grounding and rooting, feeling that sense of connection to earth. We're feeling, again, that sense of drawing the energy up through the midline of the body. We feel the integrity of the canister of the torso as we have the abdominal muscles engaged. And we're just going to do just a little empty coat sleeve kind of rotation here. So now we're just getting into kind of waking up the obliques, kind of getting into juicing up the vertebral bones of the spine. But again, it's always honoring our limits. We never want to force or push or strive. And come back, floating back into stillness. Noticing the effects. As we now go into an unstacking of the spine, I'm going to give you the side view on this one. So sitting at the edge of a chair, or if you're standing, again, you're going to have the knees bent, arms alongside the body. Palms are going to face back. We're going to inhale and grow long. As we exhale, like we're pressing against a wall of air, we're just going to hinge forward. Let your hands come forward to your thighs. You're going to slowly unstack the bones of the spine. We don't want to put any pressure on the upper back. If it feels right, you can let the head hang a bit here. Continue to pull the belly button away from your shirt to keep yourself safe and just hanging here, like almost like in ragdoll. If you want to bring a little movement and if that feels right, you can just begin to maybe let the head uncoil, the torso. As you keep that tailbone tucked, as you pull that belly button again away from your shirt, you're slowly going to press through your feet and you're stacking those vertebral bones. You're slowly rising back up, coming back, resting here and the noticing. We'll do this one more time. Press through the feet, lift and lengthen through the body, engage the core. Exhale as you press that wall of air behind you, slowly folding forward, hands sliding down the legs. Come to your just right place and do whatever brings you a sense of feeling ease or goodness. And letting yourself be fully breathed wherever you are. With that tailbone tucked, one more time, the slow return. See if you can feel these subtle sensations of the spine restacking. Coming all the way back up. And as we continue, we rest in the effects, the noticing, just noticing the body as a whole as we pause for just a brief moment. And then we're going to move into one more breathing practice. So we're going to let the hands come to the low belly, almost like the thumbs are forming a bit of a triangle here in front of the belly. As we tuck the tailbone, we're just going to, as we inhale, we're just hinging forward slightly. We're opening the hands. As we exhale, we're shifting the weight back. We're keeping that tailbone tuck. Core is on. Inhale, hinging forward. Exhale to return. Continuing this, almost like you're feeling or creating a little bit of space in the hara, in the center of your foundation here. And two more times. Hands floating back, rest in stillness, pausing. We're slowly going to draw the hands up in front of the heart center now, fingertips touching here. Now we're focusing on the energy in the heart center, noticing what's true for you here. As you inhale again, core's engaged, tailbone tuck. We're going to inhale almost like we're creating space in the heart area. As we exhale, we return. Just feeling almost like we're radiating the energy of our heart out to the world. The love, compassion, the goodness that you are. And we'll do this two more times. And pause. And finally, we're coming up to the head, right? Just feel your palms like you've got a little shield or a partition from the world, your palms here supporting the mind and feeling a sense of seclusion, a sense of being comforted. When you're ready, again, with that tailbone tuck, core turned on as you inhale, like you're creating space, you're going to hinge forward, space for the mind. inviting spaciousness to be known. And 2 more times. And slowly, like your hands are moving through water, let them return down alongside your body. Pausing, noticing. And we'll do one final movement in this sequence of Chi Yoga. So coming back to that radiant, again, like arms, like on puppeteer strings on the in-breath, they just rise up. We receive, we continue that inhalation. Hands again, washing down the midline. We'll do this just a few more times. And on this last final time, we're just going to let the hands this time, they're going to come down like they're forming a triangle again at the basement of the belly. Right in front of the basement of the belly, just feel the energy of hands, aware of your hara, your dantian in yoga. And again, we're going to let the hands slowly slide up to the heart center. We're going to flip the hands, so this triangle, and this triangle is a gesture of balance. So a balanced heart. And then we're slowly just going to let the hands close. We're going to drop the chin, a gesture of a prayer. Slowly returning back. We're going to shift right now into a review of some of the sequence of our yoga practice that some of you are so well versed in, but that beginner's mind allows us to experience it anew, experience the freshness of this moment right here, just this one, right? We're on the kaleidoscope of life, and this is a fresh new moment. We've never seen this configuration in ourselves before. So as you sit here or stand here, we know we want to feel the feet on solid ground. We know if we're seated, we want to feel the support beneath us, tucking the tailbone in both cases, bottom of the ribs drawn in, engaged core. So this is kind of a receiving gesture of the mountain posture, if you will. So see if you can feel like you're zippering up that energy from the pubic bone all the way up to the sternum. The shoulders are relaxed and down. You know, mountains have a lot to teach us: solidarity, strength, essentially remaining ourselves. And then from here, we're going to inhale, we're going to gather the arms up. We'll go through a little flow sequence. We're going to exhale the palms to heart. We're going to weave the fingers and continue as we press out, scoop and hollow the belly. Rise up with that tailbone tucked, coming into extended spine. Exhale, coming back down. We're going to inhale, palms up, and this time we're going to go into that flexion. And then we're just going to explore these juicy body parts known as hands and fingers. Total wow on the hands and fingers. Just this, right? Just this body part right here. Tended to in your practice. We're going to turn the palms forward. And this time we're just going to draw the fingers together again, like we're hugging that tree. Again, we're scooping and hollowing. And then from here, you guys know the drill. On an in-breath, we're going into the extending the diagonal. We're coming back to the tree hug. Scoop and hollow. Inhale as we go to the other side. Let's do this one more time to either side. Feel into your expansiveness. Feel into that sense of holding goodness. Coming back. We're going to open back into this like petals of a flower move. We're going in like we're hugging our best friend. Stack those elbows, drop the chin, scoop and hollow. Keep your core engaged as you rise up, elbows parallel to the ground. Exhale, let them draw to the right, gaze to the left. Find your edge. Not too much, not too little. Come back. On your next exhalation, we're going to the other side. Coming back and just see what you want to do here, what you want to explore. Maybe you want to continue this movement. Maybe you want to let the elbows kind of come up and down. So what we're doing is enhancing synovial fluid in the shoulders, another set of amazing body parts. What we're also doing is we're lubricating the vertebral joints of the thoracic spine. We're going to inhale again, petals of a flower. We're going to open, and this time we're going to let the other arm get in on the hug, dropping the chin and drawing in. So just imagine like you're a little seedling, kind of maybe just drawing in the energy here. And when you're ready, see if you can stay present with the full movement of opening and expanding as the object of your attention, the expanding, the opening. We're going to let the arms slowly come back down alongside the body. We'll continue our sequence here, arms rising up with a breath. Hands married together, exhale to heart. Weaving those fingers, we're preparing for crescent moon, tailbones tucked, pressing through the feet and or the sit bones, opening the right side body. Beautiful. Crescent moon. See if you can grow long, not just in the right side body, but the left side body. The gaze may or may not follow. See if you can isolate the breath in the rib cage. Bottom of the ribs are drawn in, tailbones tucked, breathing through the side of the ribs. And then press through your contact points, rising up again with the breath. We're going to exhale. We're going to press out, scoop and hollow. One more extended spine here. And then the slow release. Pausing and noticing. Feel the dignity that you are. Feel the home and the dwelling that is your kingdom. When you're ready on a breath, we're going to let the arms, again, they're just going to rise up. Palms again, greeting each other. We're going to weave the fingers together. Inhale, coming back up. Exhaling into crescent moon. Find your just right place here. Again, possibly isolating the breath in the rib cage. Belly buttons pulled away from your shirt. Gaze may or may not follow. You know, everybody's practice is completely different. We are not symmetric. Our bodies, side to side, person to person, have their unique qualities. Rising up when you're ready with a breath. Exhale. Then we're just going to take a little bow to ourselves again. Rising back up. Come back to this receiving mountain gesture. As we continue our sequence, we're going to inhale the arms. Again, this quality of gathering. And we're going to come wide into five-pointed star. So if you're seated or standing, you guys know the drill here. It's like you're a starfish. And we keep this core. If you think of a starfish, it's got that little kind of, everything kind of draws in to the center of the starfish. So that's the same thing for us too. We want everything drawing in here. Keeping the tailbone tuck supports that. hands coming out here. And we're feeling into our expansiveness through the lower extremities, the upper extremities. And we're just going to roll the shoulders up and back and down a few times here. And then we're going to set ourselves up for warrior two. So once we've opened the chest a bit, we can release the hands to the hip crease. We're going to let the left toes turn on a slight diagonal, and we're going to let the right knee align over the right ankle. And I'm just going to make a little adjustment here to support that so you can see what's happening down below. And just get your core here, get your core. See if you can, your heels can intersect on this plane here. And then you're slowly, when you're ready, spread your wings, take your gaze over your fingertips, coming into warrior two. Roll those shoulders up and back and down. Make sure your tailbone's tucked, belly button away from your shirt. Let your shoulders rest down on the canister of the torso. The chest remains proud here. We'll go through our flowing sequence. We'll do this 3 times. We're going to exhale the head and hands coming together. Namaste. We inhale, we return. Right hand comes up. Exhale, we go into reverse warrior. We flow up on that in-breath. We exhale, coming into diagonal. Feel that line of energy. Rise back up with the breath. We'll do this 2 more times in silence, in the music of our internal presence with ourselves. Pausing, feeling the goodness that you are, the radiance of your human beingness right here, right now. And then letting your hands slowly migrate back to the hips. We're going to heel toe the feet in slightly. We're going to keep that tuck on, and we're coming right into goddess or sun god. And we're just, with that core engaged, we're just going to kind of explore a little bit. We might shift the weight from one side to the other, whatever exploration feels right for you. And if your shoulder's saying, I've had enough, we know wise relationship, we can let the hands come down. It doesn't have to be, suffering is not the direction we're wanting to go ever, right? And so from here, let's take it to the next level. If you're standing, your back squatted a bit, or your knees are bent, maybe squat's too intense. We're going to tuck our tailbone, get the bottom of the ribs drawn in, and we're going to hinge forward into a wide angle forward bend. Remembering those contraindications I mentioned earlier, and only going to that just right place for you, and then see what you want to explore from here. Movement may come into play, it may not. And come back to neutral with the tailbone tucked. We're going to be rising back up here. Heel toe the feet in. We return back to our basic posture, the essence of which is stability, openness, groundedness. When you're ready with that soft gaze, we're going to continue. We're going to let the arms catch that draft of air. As we step wide, we're coming once again into 5-pointed star, taking your hands to the hip crease here, setting yourself up, left knee over the left ankle, feet intersecting, torso's Straight up and down, tailbones tucked, shoulders relaxed. Yeah, coming home, letting the arms float up when you're ready. Gaze is over the fingertips. Just roll the shoulders up and back and down, chest is proud. As we exhale, the head and hands come together. Namaste. As we inhale, we return. Left hand comes up. Exhale. Reverse warrior. Flow up with your breath. Exhale, diagonal. Returning with your breath and pausing. Noticing. Continuing in your own rhythm for 2 more cycles. Pausing. Let your hands release to the home base of the hips. We're going to heel toe the feet in. One more time, the forward bend, if that's right for you. Core's turned on, taking that slow journey into this extended spine, releasing down, unstacking whatever may want to release. Any slow, subtle movements of the neck and head. Completely appropriate. And with your abs turned on, belly button away from the shirt, the slow stacking return being known. And if you're standing, making that slow return back to seated. And just a little bit of lower body kind of core work for a few minutes before we segue into meditation. So coming forward, perhaps if that's right for you, on your chair, feeling the feet again on solid ground, keeping that tuck on. Let your hands come to your hips. It's like we're just doing a little bit of marching. We're going to see if you can keep the pelvis neutral. We're slowly lifting and returning, lifting on a breath, like you're in slow motion. Sometimes a slower practice, a more somatically aware practice, takes a little more brain power to stay present with all the myriad sensations happening with the movements. Do this one more time to either side. We're going to let that go. With that tuck on, coming to your right leg, and you're just going to draw this leg up like you're holding the leg here and letting the arms do all the work. The shoulders are relaxed, the torso is proud. And we're just kind of, see if you can let this thigh release into this strength of your biceps, your arms holding on. And now say hello to your foot and ankle. Just like the hands, the flexing. Again, more amazing body parts tended to here. Take a hand to your belly and you can just begin to stir the pot of the hip. You can go into that C-count move, so really good core engagement if this is right action for you. And then eventually we'll just let this leg melt down. Hands coming to the thigh. We're going to exhale and just head to knee posture. Taking a few breaths here. One more time with the belly button drawn away from the shirt, tailbone tucked. We're going to do the restacking on our next inhalation. Reestablishing good core engagement as we go to the other side. Again, feeling the strength of the arms as we say hello to this beautiful body part. And then stirring the pot. You can go into that exploration of the space, right? We think we have to move in certain ways, but we know better, right? There's so many kaleidoscope opportunities with the body. And when you're ready, you're going to let that leg melt down, engage core as you fold in. A few breaths now as if you're breathing around the kidneys and the adrenals. Let the mid back get a little TLC with your attention landing there for a few more breaths. And again, tailbones tucked, stacking those vertebral bones, slowly rising back up. Noticing the effects. Setting yourselves up for a few minutes of meditation. So you might want to slide back into having a little more support on your back, or you may feel like you want to sit a little more upright. It all works. Letting your hands perhaps rest comfortably in your lap. Let's just start by, letting attention land in the shoulders left and right. Sometimes these shoulders can feel like they're carrying the weight of the world. Can you let them rest into the strength of the canister of your torso and let your chest be a little more open and proud? Can you rock back ever so slightly on your sit bones? Can you feel the solid foundation of the lower extremities, the buttocks, the thighs, the base of your mountain? Can you feel the spine of your mountain sitting with this quality of relaxed yet alert attention? Imagining again any gunk or stress in the neck and shoulders rolling down the length of the arms through the forearms, letting go of any tension or stress in the hands. Sitting again with this quality of care, this quality of befriending yourself just as you are in this moment. Letting your attention just buoyantly float on the sensations of the breath entering and leaving the body. Letting the breath be a bit of a home base. You can return, you can refresh and begin anew with each wave of life via the breath rolling into the body. And we can use skillful imagination in our practice. We can imagine the breath infused with that quality that we're holding for our intention perhaps today, a quality of care. The breath infused with gentleness, tenderness, acceptance, whatever feels right for you. As we sit together for a minute more, I'd like to read you something that a colleague shared with me today, written by a physician, Rachel Naomi Raymond. Perhaps our greatest service is simply to find ways to strengthen and live closer to our goodness. This is far from easy. It requires an everyday attention, an awareness of all that diminishes us, distracts us, and causes us to forget who we are. But every act of service bears witness to the possibility of freedom for us all. And every time anyone becomes more transparent to the light inside of them, they will restore the light in the world. And as we draw our time together to a close, perhaps the hands may want to reconnect together on the heart or together in the gesture of a prayer and a bow to the wisdom that brings us home. Namaste.